I was talking with a client of mine yesterday, and we got into an area, and it occurred to me this is not an uncommon situation among the people that I talk to. So I wanted to share it with you because I think, some people recognize it and it might help. Um, it started with that feeling of not being seen, not fitting in, which I don't think is all that uncommon. In this case, though, what it really was speaking to is being born into a situation where your consciousness is significantly higher than the people around you. Now, it's important to note, I think, I'm not making a value judgment when I say that. It's we all come in at different levels, and it's just the way it is. It's sort of like saying, somebody who's older or younger than me isn't better or worse than me. We're just at different stages. So in this case, a lot of the people that I talk to, they're born into a situation where they come in with much more of a sense of themselves as an individual. They have more of an individual consciousness as opposed to a group consciousness. In other words, their family is on more of a tribal level. The problem with that is that the tribe does not prioritize individuality. In fact, it often requires you to kind of submit to it. That's why we get, like humiliating initiations, because it's designed to break you down. It's designed to tell you you're not better than the rest of us. The tribe's value puts the group ahead of the individual. So without even understanding it, a lot of the time the tribe finds the individual consciousness threatening. And so, and this can be your family, this can be your community, can be your school. But when you're a child, it's very hard to understand why this is and what's going on. And frequently there's nobody around you to explain it to you, to help you out and mentor you. So you just feel like something is wrong and you don't know what to do about it. A lot of times in your family of origin, you'll get a lot of different responses. So they might attack you, they might ostracize you, they might ignore you. Probably, best case scenario is they just kind of treat you like you're weird. Even then, the message that gets communicated is there's something wrong with you. Amongst the worst case scenarios is when they can feel that you have access to a power that they don't. In other words, when you have elevated spiritual consciousness, you're plugged into bigger things than somebody who's still in the tribal level. But as a child, again, you don't really know what that means or how to deal with it. So that can, again, feel threatening. It can cause resentments, and you'll get a lot of that response of like, who do you think you are? You think you're better than me? And as a kid, you're like, oh, well, I didn't do anything, leave me alone. One of the worst case scenarios, and this is all happening unconsciously. Nobody is understanding what they're doing. They're really just reacting in this case. One of the worst case scenarios is when they can feel that you are a great source of power, and as I said, that's threatening. So what they will choose to do is kind of try to bring you under control. Sometimes they'll try to cripple you because they see you as a source of power. If they can kind of tie you down or limit you, then they can steal that power from you, and you become a power source, and that can cause a lot of damage. So the thing that I think is really important to realize in this case is that we all choose the situation we're born into. So in other words, we end up feeling like something went wrong. This isn't okay. A bad thing happened to me, as opposed to this is by design. And in this case, the design that I'm talking about is it's designed to send you on your way. It's the tribe's job to throw you out, or at least to make you feel uncomfortable enough to begin your journey. Because there's a very odd dynamic that's going on, which is that the tribe, while it's designed to promote the tribe and not the individual, it also needs individuals to go and develop their gifts that cannot be developed within the tribe. So there's a kind of a love-hate thing, and the tribe is not good at getting people to graduate beyond it. So it's really up to the individual to feel that they don't fit in, that there's something bigger out there, and to begin that journey. And these things often require a lot of healing before we can really start to come into our own and develop those gifts. Now, an important thing to realize is in some cases, the tribe's job is just to make it uncomfortable for you so that you get out, so that you do your own thing, so that you develop your power on the individual level. The ideal situation, or maybe the higher good of all concerned situation, is that you develop yourself as an adult. It's the hero's journey in a sense, and you develop your gifts, and then you come back and you share them with the tribe, in a way that you couldn't when you were a child, because you didn't have a relationship to those gifts and you didn't have authority. It's really that being in the world but not of the world. So by really developing fully as an individual, you can come back, be amongst the tribe, give to the tribe, they benefit from it, but you're not absorbed or disempowered by them. You have the ability to leave if necessary. You have the ability to come and go, and you have the ability to benefit them the way, if they knew to, they would want you to. So for instance, my client yesterday was talking about he's kind of the go-between. He's the one that everybody trusts. How he used to feel really bad about his father, and now he likes hanging around with him. Now that his father's in his old age, and he can kind of function as a companion and a support system. So the point of this, I think, is that if you can see it in that way, it takes it out of the realm of being an injury, being an unfair thing, being a thing that shouldn't have happened. And you can see it as part of the design to send you on your journey of self-realization. And then now we don't have to blame the group, the tribe, our family. We see them as having done their part, as bizarre as that part might have seemed at the time.